I'm going to have cat gameplay on the screen so all of Dream's kittens can feel a little more comfortable watching this video. But besides Dream being a little too close with his fans to the point of calling them kittens, I really have no problem with Dream at all. He gets cancelled all the time, but I feel like the reasons he gets cancelled for are pretty ridiculous. For example, being accused of cultural appropriation for doing a war cry in a Minecraft stream. Even with the speedrun cheating thing, despite the odds being overwhelmingly against him, I still think there's a chance that he might have just gotten that lucky. But after seeing how he slandered Swan by twisting the truth, I really don't believe he's been truthful about the cheating situation, much less anything else. But before we get into the meat of this by reading what Dream had to say about Swan, I think it's important to point out the events that led up to this response even being made, because it wasn't entirely unprovoked. The comment Dream left was on a thread made by one of his stans who criticized Swan for negatively tweeting about Dream stans. The reason Dream stans were going after Swan as of late is because Swan called Dream a douchebag, which seems out of left field until you watch the clip that's attached to the tweet, where Moist Critical also calls Dream a douchebag with an explanation.
Yeah, so Charlie, continue. Why is he so spoiled or whatever you were saying?
Well, I was just saying, I thought Kaya didn't believe he had an ego. I was just going to say, because I went on a podcast with him and he was telling this story about, like, he always knew he was going to blow up and his advice to up-and-comers was to be super confident to the point of arrogance.
Before I even posted my first video, there was like this 6-month period where I was like, you know what? Like, it can't be that hard to do YouTube. So I was like, let me look into it. Let me do the research. Let me read about it. Let me watch videos on it. I had no idea. I had no idea that I was going to get to this point this quickly, but I was being cocky. I was being cocky. I was to the point where I was like bragging, like, yeah, I'm gonna be at 1 million subs. And
he said he used to leverage favors from the community by promising them he'd blow up and remember them.
I had no subs, and I was trying to get a favor from somebody because I thought it would help me. It was really dumb. I wanted some like rank on some server that would then help me get my name out there, and I was asking for it for free. And he was like, no, I'm not gonna get you. I was like, oh, I promise you, when I blow up, I will pay you back. And he was like, no, you're not gonna blow up. I was like, no, you know me, I'm gonna blow up. And he's like, no, you won't. I was being dumb and cocky, but then again, I feel like that's kind of the attitude you have to have in order to greatly succeed in a certain field.
It was kind of douchey.
Jesus Christ, that is super douchey.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Did you say that to his face? Or were you a pussy?
I didn't get a chance because everyone else was busy complimenting it.
Whoa.
But yeah, I thought that was pretty douchey.
Like if you're confident in yourself, and maybe not cocky, but if you're confident in yourself yeah, I think that helps. So.
Well, I completely disagree, but yeah.
Now that we have that context, let's actually read what Dream had to say about Swan. He replies to the Reddit post by saying, "This guy is bad news. A while back, after I interviewed him for a Minecraft documentary, he changed his profile picture and name on Discord to mine, and started DMing people pretending to be me. He sent people the N-word and a lot of other stuff, as well as said sexual stuff while claiming that it was me, where he would then from his main Twitter vouch that it was me, and said that we were amazing friends and linked the documentary to prove it. Once I confronted him about it, very nicely given the circumstances, he said that his friend had hacked his accounts and done it. I didn't reply to him and unfollowed him, and I don't think he is super fond of me since then." Swan responds to Dream by saying, "Dream has made accusations about me on Reddit to try and smear my credibility, so I will respond here in detail to ensure that everything is perfectly clear. Back probably a year ago, I was visiting some family friends. One of the guys I was talking to was much younger than me and wanted to know about YouTube and what I did to make videos. Since I didn't have my PC with me, I logged into Discord on his laptop and showed him some things that I had screenshotted and sent other people. Before I left, I foolishly didn't log out of my account. He decided it would be a good idea to start trolling on my account with his friends, and used an alt account as well as my account to have conversations with about 3 different people. One of these was Harley TBS. He had used an alt account, changed its name and profile picture to Dream, and started saying some really strange stuff. It was like 12-year-old humor. I was told the N-word was said, but I have seen no evidence of that. But I did find convos about a Minecraft sex mod and other weird shit. As soon as I found out about it, I logged out of my Discord on all accounts, and called up the parents of the guy who was involved. I spoke to him and explained to him how this stuff could have great impacts on other people, but he was young and didn't get it. But I did get him to change the account back and cease his conversations. As far as I know, he only messaged one person as Dream, that being Harley TBS, since he was the only person that was engaging at the time. That's the context of the situation, which I explained to Dream, albeit in much less detail. Really fucked up that he would try and twist it like this. There was no vouching on my main Twitter as well. That's just a lie, and didn't happen. This was exclusively Discord. To present the story that this was some big thing where I would message multiple people as Dream to try and ruin him is categorically untrue. It just shows his true character. Testimony from the person person who took the information to Dream in the first place. He then shows a tweet from Harley that says, "From listening to John's testimony and explaining the events, I would like to say publicly that I was the one who initially contacted Dream with the information. I do not believe John sent those messages. Dream is twisting it." He then also makes a Twitter video about the situation.
Just wanted to hop on and speak about the John Swan thing because I think I have a few things to explain in that situation. But back when I first met John, before I knew him, I received some messages from his account, which included a account that was called Dream, right? And I messaged the account called Dream, and it sent me the N-word along with other things, right? So not knowing John, I sent that to Dream, and since then I believe that I was partially responsible for the fact that Dream now believes that John did all these things, because when I spoke to John and John clarified, I didn't believe him because it seemed like he was using an excuse. But I don't believe that John is responsible for anything, okay? I believe that obviously it was probably someone else, seeing how the words were written now and knowing John a lot better. So I don't hold John responsible, but I do hold myself partially responsible for what Dream believes now. However, I do believe the way that Dream has represented it, including cutting a lot of context and trying to turn it into John being unfollowed sort of thing, I feel like that's kind of scummy.
Now this is where it gets really crazy. Dream responds to John Swan by saying, "I really am not sure why you brought this to Twitter in response to a post on a random subreddit on a comment with 20 likes, but I can assume it's just for attention. I will reply anyway though because you were being unreasonable. I said in the Reddit post that you claimed it wasn't you. All this thread does is claim it wasn't you. Here's the exact DMs between me and you from a very long time ago to clarify. My post implies that I didn't believe your story, and that's because I didn't." He then shows the DMs. They are from February 2020 and it starts out with Dream saying, "Are you DMing people about me?" John replies, "Wait, what? I haven't been on Discord in a bit. Okay, I can't log into it. That's actually very weird. You got messages from me?" He responds, "No, someone else did." John replies, "Okay, that's fucking weird. I've got to sort that out because I didn't send any, laughing my ass off. I've not been on there for like 3 days." Dream responds, "Lots of weird messages about how we're friends, and I hate Skeppy, and I'm working on a sex mod, and me saying the N-word and stuff." John responds, "Okay, I definitely did not send any of those, unless the person who told you that is delusional. Okay, I got back in. One of my IRLs decided it was a good idea to fuck with my YouTube account where I had signed in on their PC. Apologies, man, they will be duly lectured." John Swan responds to Dream's tweets by saying, "You posting this on a small subreddit doesn't make this any less of an accusation. You have 18 million subs. Shit like this spreads like wildfire. You know this. Don't try to downplay how big your influence is. The original person who sent the messages to you says they literally don't believe I sent the messages, and they were the main person involved. I don't know how you can still go around claiming this. It's just completely untrue and multiple people can back me up on this. I don't spend my time making alt accounts of creators and messaging random people on Discord talking about sex mods. This is insanity." Dream responds, "I really don't care what you do in your free time, but at the time I had hundreds of reasons to be suspicious. How did you know it was Discord right away when I didn't mention it? And our primary communication was Twitter? How had we called on Discord just before if you didn't have access? Why did they use an alt Discord to troll you when they had access to your Discord as well? Why did they message people multiple things that made it seem like you? Why did they say they had your YouTube as well? Why did you say that you couldn't get in? These are all questions I had and definitely made me believe that you just screwed up with messing around and didn't think I'd realize what you did. Again, that's my opinion though. It was also multiple people that messaged me, not just one, and nothing you said refuted that. Either way, I'm done replying to this. I would have responded to you had you DM'd me, like your friend mentioned you did. I understand you don't like me at all, but demonizing me for what is at worst a misunderstanding, and at best, the truth, is very frustrating." Now, all of these messages from Dream were posted minutes apart from each other, so as they were being posted, John Swan responded to each tweet when it was the latest one that Dream posted. He responds to the first part by saying, "I generally DM on Discord. My friends can back me up on this." He responds to the second part by saying, "Let me respond to this point by point. I generally DM on Discord. My friends can back me up on this. I have seen the DMs sent to Harley, and they were gloating about me being in a call with Dream. The alt account here is perfectly understandable. I am aware of only 3 people they messaged. If you have more, I would love to see them. The message I sent you was a typo. I meant to say Discord, not YouTube. I actually didn't remember why I wasn't able to get in, lol. Maybe bad connection? I used to live in a shit area. Also, our call happened in December. This was in February. Not sure what your point is there." John responds to the third part by saying, "Who are the multiple people? I would love to know. The kid in my original thread only did this with Harley, or at least that's what he told me. Multiple people couldn't have messaged you because multiple conversations didn't exist." And then in response to the final one he says, "You took this to public without DMing me first. I'm not going to give you the same courtesy. And that is about it for what has been said between Dream and John Swan publicly so far. For Dream to not believe John's explanation is completely baffling to me. Like, what would be the motive behind John Swan even doing all of that? Burning his connection with a big YouTuber, risking stuff being said about him behind the scenes because of it, and then also lying to that YouTuber about it on top of that? There's just no logical explanation for doing that, outside of maybe a quick attention grab by saying you talked to Dream on Twitter. But then again, at this point, Dream was already in a video by John Swan, the Minecraft documentary mentioned earlier, so why would you try to get attention that way? It just makes absolutely no sense. And while John Swan's explanation of things is a bit convoluted, it makes a lot more sense than what Dream is insisting, which is doing stuff for attention. He even thinks that John Swan responding to the accusation in general is an attention grab, which is just ridiculous because if you are being accused of something you didn't do by an 18 million sub YouTuber, regardless of where he posted it, I think it's perfectly reasonable to make a public response and clarify it. The way that he thinks this is an attention grab from John Swan and thinking that he just got caught doing it makes me think back to that first clip we watched at the beginning of the video and how Dream was willing to pay people just for some exposure by getting a role in a Minecraft server. I really do think Dream's interpretation of all of this really showcases what he would do in that situation. But that's just speculation on my part and my opinion. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this in the comments section below. Also, be sure to subscribe to my channel with notifications on because the next video is probably going to be on Twitter reactions to this situation, and you won't want to miss that. Thank you so much to my channel members for supporting the channel, in particular Scrubby, who decided to donate $100 a month. That is absolutely insane. Thank you so much, dude. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in another video.